Let's talk about some of the bikes that we might be interested in, because I've seen a few. Zooz bikes. Z-O-O-Z. Zooz bikes. I don't know how I came across that bike, but I was looking for a BMX style e-bike that you could rip around the city, in. Like a regular BMX, but you know, with a motor on it. And I know, you know, 250 watt, although they do make a 250 watt option, 750 watt and 1100 watt. You know, top speed on the one that's 1100 watts is 27 miles an hour, but that's pretty fast for a BMX style bike with no suspension, you know, and it gets you there all throttle too. You don't have to pedal, you got the option to. So I was looking at that one. You can always upgrade the controller and make it go a little faster if that's what you want, because it is an 1100 watt motor, and it'll take you past 30 with the right controller and the right voltage battery. You might have to do a mod, but it is what it is, if speed is what you're looking for. But that bike is pretty cool. All chrome. It's nice. Check it out. The BuzzRaw X. The BuzzRaw X is that bike for me. The styling on it, man, that suspension, the way it's styled in the front and the rear, that frame, it's a sexy ass bike to me. And the way I want to hook it up, you know, it's gonna cost a pretty penny, but they give options. You can buy just the frame and hook it up how you want. So might be looking into that. Frame alone is like 1900 bucks. But man, that's the look right there. I like that one. You can pretty much put any option motor you want on it. You have the option for a mid-drive. You can always do a hub motor, rear or front. Don't know why you would do front on a bike like that unless you had dual motors. But yeah, that bike is sexy. And I want one. Next up, we got the Chiron. The Chirani Ron. And that's not so much an e-bike so much as it is a dirt bike. It's more of a dirt bike. It's just an electric dirt bike pretty much. Not legal to have. I mean, you can have one. It's not legal on most applications, which most of us really don't give a f about, or a lot of us, you know.
Boy, if you don't...
Just speaking on a certain segment of us, I'm one of those people that don't really care. It's quiet. You know, that's all I pretty much care about. So as long as it's quiet, you know, I want my joint to be fast. I'm looking for speed. I'm not trying to kill myself, but that's how I get my thrills, going fast. That's why I got the sport bike. But the Lectric XP is always going to stay around as a cruiser as long as, you know, it's up and running, which it more than likely always will be. You can pretty much change everything out on this bike. But the Chiron The Chiron. Man, I'd have a lot of fun with that bike. All the jumping and stuff I'd be doing, wheelies. It'd be interesting learning how to wheelie on an electric bike. You know, I wonder if it feels anything like how I get down on my Gixxer. I don't wheelie it a lot no more because I don't want the forks to leak. Don't want no leaky forks. That happened on my last bike. That was the Yamaha. No, that happened on my first bike, the Yamaha R6, 2006, Yamaha R6S version. Love that bike too, but she's gone now, and we on to bigger and better things. But I got a buddy, he wants to get the Chiron. And if he gets the Chiron, either I got to get the Buzzraw X or I got to get the Chiron, or I do a DIY style Chiron that looks more like a bike but handles like a dirt bike. You feel what I'm saying? Do something like that. It'd be much cheaper. There's not a huge audience for DIY bikes as far as, you know, YouTube searches go. Here. But the Chiron is an option. It's just, you know, $4,000. Do I want to fork out, well, $3,600 before taxes? Do I want to fork that out? Depends. The Buzzraw X, the way I'm gonna hook it up is gonna be close to around 4,000, give or take, maybe. So it's all about style at this point, and convenience, because the Chiron is local. I can go grab one of those real quick. It's nice out here today. No, I don't feel bad passing people walking their bikes if they don't have a flag. If you don't have a motor, that's on you. That's on you. You're cheating. I'm having fun, is what I'm doing. You're a cheater. That's funny. No, I'm an investor. That's what I am. But hey, I love pedal bikes too. You know, me and my dad did a lot of that coming up. Bought me my first BMX bike, taught me how to ride on it, bust my ass just like everybody else back in those days. Learned, you know, the hard way. I'm sure he wouldn't have had it any other way. Shout out to Pops, if you're watching this. Let's go through the neighborhood real quick. We in Silmar right now. But shout out to Pops. Been riding for a long time. Got chased on that bike by dogs. It was my fault. You know, fucking with him at the gate and all that. Got chased. Tried to hit a curb so I could make it to the house. That was my last obstacle before I made it to my front yard. And I hit it with the front tire, flew over the handlebars, landed on my face, took all the skin off my chin. And I had to get stitches, 6 stitches. Yep, 6 stitches in the chin. That was my first real spill. Yep. And I had that bike all the way up until middle school. That bike got stolen. At my middle school. I used to ride it to school. I lived a long way from school. If you walking, you know, a bike is, you know, a good thing to have, especially growing up in South Central California. You know, you really want to have a bike if you live far from school. Maybe even if you live not even that far from school. Feel me? That bike got stolen in middle school. My dad thought I sold it. But what happened was, I had secured the bike, or thought I secured the bike, to a small tree. And by the time I came back, you know, at the end of the day, into school, the bike was gone, and so was that tree. That tree was knocked over. They tore the tree out the ground to get that bike. And I had to walk a hella long way home. From John Muir Middle School all the way to 41st. And that's a lot of neighborhoods you gotta go through. Coming up in South Central, on foot. It is a mission. But he bought me another bike, another BMX. This one was decked out with the pegs, all that. Hidden. Couldn't tell me shit. Damn. Cul-de-sac. Couldn't tell me shit. I'm taking that bike to school, making sure I'm putting it in a teacher classroom. Like, can I leave this here? No. Please watch my bike. And we used to take that bike to the beach. I ain't talking about on no bus. We ride that thing from South Central to the beach. Venice Beach, Manhattan Beach, everywhere. Then I got into mini bikes. Got into mini bikes with the motors on them, and man, me and my little homeboys, we used to tear up the streets. I used to ride one of my friends, because I didn't have one, but the one I used to ride didn't have no throttle attached to it, so I had to just ride with one hand, reach down with my right hand to throttle the motor. I had to literally pull the throttle from its base on the motor at the connection. But I used to be flying up and down the street, probably about 40, 50 miles an hour, just like that, no suspension. So I've been doing this for a long time. I had my fair share of spills, accidents, you know. So from that point, You know, we talking about motorcycles now. We grown. We getting, you know, we getting a little money, you know. We ain't got no responsibility too much. Oh, wait, that's nice. You know, ain't really got no responsibilities. You got your little pockets coming in. You ain't got no kids. It's what a time to be alive. Love my kids though. But anyway, got into motorcycles. That's when I bought the Yamaha R6. It was blue. See if I can post a picture up or something. Bought it from Long Beach Motorsports. I was the first one out of all my homies. But right after, everybody jumped on board right after. And we was rolling. I pulled the trigger and we was rolling. Man, we was everywhere. Couldn't tell me shit then, can't tell me shit now. Cause I see from some of the comments, you know, some of these guys, some of you guys don't like the way I ride. And that's cool, that's fine. If I hurt myself, that's on me. You know, I'll take it on the chin just like every other injury I've ever had. You know, and speaking of injuries, I bought the Yamaha R6. First thing I did was head over to get a spare key made and get insurance. It was a used Yamaha R6. And I bought it in 2011. So, been about 9 years. So I bought that bike, went to go get a spare key made, hopped straight on the freeway. Straight on the freeway, straight out the gate. You know, wasn't a master shifter or nothing like that. But I hopped on the freeway and we took off, me and my boy for show. He had a Gixxer 1000 at the time. Suzuki GSXR 1000. And shit, we hopped straight on the freeway. I didn't want to, but shit, he was like, that, we going on the freeway. If we all or nothing. I was like, all right, shit, I ain't no punk, you know, let's do it. So we did. And I get that bike home safe and sound. Everything's all cool. At the time, I was driving trucks. So I parked the bike at my auntie house. And I get back on the road. Can't wait to get back to my bike. So I spend 3 weeks out on the road. Get back, first thing I do, head to my auntie house, get my bike. You already know. Already know. Go get the bike. Get a fresh fit. Fresh kicks. Get you a sock to cover the shifter foot, you know, so you don't mess up the kicks while you ride. And I'm looking good. I'm hitting the city. We rolling around, having a good old time. I called my boy. He on his 1000. And we hit the streets. Oh, I'm missing a part. I'm lying. I went to go get insurance directly after I bought the bike. When we got off the freeway, we headed to Hawthorne, and we got insurance. I paid for the full year. The full year. That's straight from the dealership. We left the dealership, got a spare key, and then went to go get insurance. And I paid for the full year, mind you. So 3 weeks later, I get into an accident. Well, let me rewind that. 3 weeks later, I'm riding with my boy. We in Hawthorne. We riding down the street on Inglewood Avenue. And we speeding where we shouldn't be. But we having a good time. It's cars joining in on the fun. Just reckless, stupid shit. Make sure this camera's still on. Just reckless, stupid shit, right? Flying up Inglewood Avenue. This little Rice Rockets trying to have fun with us. My boy on the Lectric 1000, doing way too much. I'm trying to keep up. And so a minivan is coming up ahead. I'm approaching it kind of fast. But he's about to turn. He's making a left turn at the light. And as I'm coming up on him, he's turning. But then he hesitated. So the car started to turn, and the way he was making the left turn, he stepped on the gas like he was turning quick. So it gave me, it put a light on in my head saying, okay, he's gonna make that turn. But he didn't make that turn. He stopped. He slammed on his brakes. And as I'm edging to get over, the little Rice Rocket, it was a red Honda Civic, he's right on the side of me. I'm like, shit. Brace for impact. At this point, can't do shit. Because if I split the lane, I might take my leg off. At this point, it's just too late. Smack right back into the back of this minivan. Right back into the back of the minivan. Right through the back window. So half my body's in the minivan and my legs are outside of the van. I'm saying hi to the kids in the seat up ahead. There's 3 rows. But I'm up. I'm injured. I don't know what's broke. Because the bike pinned my leg against the minivan. I can't feel nothing in my legs. I'm like, damn, I done really up. Ambulance arrived. And you know, they're about to start cutting my clothes off. I'm like, no. Just bought this fit. You ain't cutting these. So I didn't let them cut it. I was serious about that. So I start to get up. People are like, oh no, don't move, don't do this, don't do that. You know, that's what they're gonna tell you. And you really shouldn't. You shouldn't move. But I did. Got up, hobbled over to the curb, leg bleeding. My left leg. But I don't feel, it's swelling up because I smashed it so hard, but the bone wasn't broken. The bone wasn't broke, so we was all good. I found that out in the hospital though. After they had me on a gurney at Centinela Hospital. You don't want to be in a gurney in there for no 2 hours. I mean, I start tripping after a minute. You wasn't paying no attention. So yeah, that was my first motorcycle accident. On the sidewalk for this one. That was my first motorcycle accident. Look at that. It's nice. Clean Mini Cooper. I walked away from that one with a large hospital bill. Not that large, just a few thousand. The ambulance ride was the most expensive thing. Shit. They charged me $3,000 to take me 2 miles. That's a racket. That's extortion. I don't care what you say. I didn't have no broken bones. They didn't administer really no aid. They just put me on a gurney and left me in the hospital and charged me $3,000 for this shit. I could have had somebody else take me to the hospital, but you know, whatever. That was my first accident on a motorcycle. I won't even say nothing. I won't even tell y'all about the second one. It's so stupid. Yeah, that one was my fault too. Both of them was my fault. But I ain't even finna tell y'all that one. Just cruising today. Nice mellow cruise. You ain't gotta speed all the time. It's cool to slow it down sometimes. It's cool to live. It's corny as it sounds because everybody, you know, you didn't heard it all the way when you was a kid, but it's true. It's cool to live. Live life. But yeah. That Yamaha was the victim of both of my motorcycle accidents. But my second motorcycle was a GSXR 750 as well, a 08. Now that one I didn't crash. That one I didn't crash. Person who crashed it, y'all gonna eventually see him on this channel. He'll be on this channel. He's gonna get an e-bike. Don't know when, but he'll get one. He wants to Chiron though. He's gonna be leaving me. But yeah, I had that bike for 10 days. I paid for it cash. I paid cash for that bike and threw mods on it as soon as I got it. I already had mods at home because I knew I was getting injection 750. Slapped all my mods on, cost me like an extra $500. Bike was loud as shit. M4 exhaust, you know, no mid pipe. I mean, cat delete with the mid pipe. Loud, screaming. The one I got now, just the M4 exhaust with this. I still got the catalytic converter on there, so it's not as loud, but still sounds good though. Lady trying to back up. But yeah, I won't give the whole story on that one. He gonna have to tell that one. But man, he really himself up good. Shout out to you, Watts. crashed that bike after 10 days of ownership. I was just happy you pulled through, to be honest. Man, he really f***ed himself up. I gotta use that word because that's what he did. But he bounced back stronger than ever though. But I was out of a bike for a while, and he had a Gixxer 750 2016 version. And so I bought that one off of him for a discount, for a good deal, and that's the bike I'm on now. And you would think I would go a step up from that and buy a faster sport bike. Don't even want one. I want a Harley. Let me get one of those eventually, when I get the space for one. And I want more e-bikes. I want a few more e-bikes. One for different, one for each different application that I need it for. Even though this one is the jack of all trades, I do need a bike that is faster up the hills and everything. And I, you know, could mod this bike, and I might mod this bike. Still, we'll see. But I do want other e-bikes. Right now we headed back to the house, so we're gonna wrap this vlog up. This spot right here got fire tacos. But we ain't eating that right now. We on something different right now. That's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. Hit that like button one time, just one time on each video. Hit that subscribe button just one time at all. Leave a comment, share a story. How did you get into bikes, e-bikes, bicycles, motorcycles?